Are we on? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Microphone check. Lights.
Cameras.
This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Welcome back. Time checks 21 minutes past the hour of 9 here on the Culture Dailies. This is the big conversation. We're going to get into it. Sorry on that delay though, but anyway, still jamming to that music. And that last one was that song, that banger by the man, Mr. Drew and Mufti. And he always gives shouts to Mufti saying, you made the music, bro. You made the music. And that's an artist opening up to support others as well. Well, most of us walk through town. You know, people bump into us, people jump at us, people see us and they go like, yeah, I need help. Let's all be supportive in any way possible. I put my hand in my pocket and I saw a note, or I found a note from a young man in UEW by name Ruga, I think, or Rudiger or so.
Rudiger,
yeah, no, but he's also Rudiger. Wait, I think I should have it here.
The guy's name is Rudiger.
Yeah, I think it's Rudiger. That's the name he gave me also. But I wanted to read that. Yeah, he wrote it on the paper because he said he realized a lot of people who were going to come at me with talk. He wanted to find a way of me settling down and then and reading this. So he says, hi Jay Foley, sorry if I spell your name wrong. He says, I can't let this feeling pass. I'm an upcoming musician in UEW. Please have he says, I have many other talents, you'll be surprised. I need management and I wish you could be of help. I would be so happy. I want to impress you. Grant me the space to show you what I can do. His name is Rudy K. Not Rudiger, sorry. Rudy K. I mean, it's fine to have another name called. I don't think Messi's the only Messi in the world, because I'm more messed up.
The only recognized. Every other person will just be another.
So Rudy K. I have a message in my pocket. I'll keep it there, bro. I'll get back to you. It's a promise, all right? But talking about people getting back to you, Bet Winner's definitely going to get back to you with great news on this one if you download the app. Well, what's the news I'm talking about? If you download the app right now, make a deposit of up to 3,250 Ghana cedis. Well, guess what? You can actually get 200% bonus from Bet Winner. Now, if you use a promo code 3music, it even makes it better. Guess what? Your odds are higher, all right? Talking higher odds, BetWinner is the place to be, or BetWinner is an app to use, I beg your pardon. Download or go onto their website, it's betwinner.com.gh. Now, terms and conditions apply. It is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana, so bet responsibly. It can be addictive and it's not for persons below the age of 18 years. Whilst you're at that, Waka Now has also got great deals for you, huge savings, unbeatable offers. Fly out of the country or enjoy a tour within the country, courtesy Waka Now. Now, in 4 days' time, that's this Friday, if you go on their socials, which is Waka Now Ghana, or on their websites, there's some giveaways also going on there. So plan those lovely trips out of town with your partner. Vacation, they call it. Vacation. And enjoy this with Waka Now. Live Resto Lounge, we did play that video for you earlier on. We was there over the weekend. It was good. It's a good place. It's in East Legon. Guaranteed the meals will just whet your appetite. Good morning to Chef Ima in the kitchen. Man, the meal, something else. We had this
chicken
Alfredo. That's Alfred's chicken. Chicken Alfredo. It tastes really good. There's more there, so head on to Live Resto Lounge. It's in East Legon. There's banku and tilapia. You said he had what? Banku and okro, yeah? It's a delicacy.
That wasn't the only food he had, though.
Hey, Charlie.
I don't know how many stomachs he's got, but
violence. He had more meals, right? He had more meals.
He ate and he loosened his belt
and like fire. I bet today he didn't even wear belts today. I mean, check. You know, he had no wear belts. I mean, today what did they come do? It's called dirty yourself. Wait, no be serious way. Then they chop fruits, no.
What did I tell you? I told you that. I told you that. It was on the show. No, it was on the show that we said. I said Cyril had sold out.
Live Resto. So you didn't go to Live Resto to have the fruits because they had some fruit salads there. You didn't enjoy that one.
I haven't eaten any banquet.
Okay. Call 020-133-7766. 020-133-7766 to place your order, or you can actually head there and have them also have some meals delivered to you. Either ways, Live Resto Lounge. Eat hot, eat good. All right. Now this morning we've been having a lot of back end conversations about so many things, deciding on which one to go hard on. Some brought hold ups and setbacks and protests and boycotts from some team members in this organization here at the bench. Some also people showed interest that want to have the discussion. So now I'm still sitting here trying to figure out which one to fire with.
Let me just appeal to the house.
House appeal.
There is a post I put in the group.
Yeah.
Maybe that could set the tone for the conversation. If Debbie can kindly put it up so that we can read it and see if indeed that has been, one of the strongest banes to the successes of creatives in this region. So if Debbie can put it on the screen for me, I'll be very happy. It was put by.
Well, we're having some challenges. I'm just being told.
Okay, so
trying to get that script.
Have you ever heard?
It's Cyril that's doing it too.
Have you? But have you ever heard?
Real tire. But I beg before you go, Charlie, but you get fans. So listen, yesterday, shouts to this gentleman I met up, Kwame. I mean, who's also a huge follower of the show, and so you get some, people that you respect.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you, Kwame.
Thank you, Kwame.
He's already acting like a
politician.
A politician.
No, this our people are. We are all together.
He's a member of parliament.
If you had to run, which constituency is really calling your name?
I'll join the Paralympic team.
Wow.
What? Why?
No.
Why?
It's
Moving
all right.
on. Moving
You're
on.
out of order. You're in order. It's okay. Out in order.
Anyways, the Paralympic people ran. Hey, Ghana. And then the deaf and dumb people sang. These people should stop going to Israel. People should start coming to Ghana. The miracles are here.
The rough guy is in Ghana. He's coming to get healing from the gunshots.
So this was the violence he was actually churning up in the group. Oh, really? My brother fire. We'll deal with this.
That is why he was so focused on.
Yeah. I thought he was discussing something very serious.
No.
Listen, we know we haven't given you the topic, Bill, but don't worry. So this was the fire you were bringing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll deal with this conversation. This one, we'll deal with it. Hey, we will deal with this conversation.
I like this one.
You like this one?
I like this one.
But this one, I'm saving it for later.
I like this one. This one is about my life. I like it. Yes, let's go.
So
There's topic. Have you seen Shoulder Guy?
We're not getting it on
Okay,
TikTok.
wow.
Do you follow Shoulder Guy on TikTok?
Shoulder Guy?
The guy who does this.
No.
So he's talking about his Samsung Galaxy S4.
No.
Check.
All right, so Jay, I'm sure I don't know if people have come across this statement before.
Yeah.
You did rush.
Yes.
You did rush. You did rush. You did see your body. Hey Charlie, why are you so arrogant? Especially when it comes to the work
my rush button.
of creative. So senior entertainment journalist Kwame Dazi put out this post on Facebook, and it says this expression has killed a lot of innovative ideas and talents. We live in a society where being confident and assertive is usually mistaken for being too knowing or arrogant. So a lot of people would rather stay mute even if they are capable of executing a task. A lot of us would be better if from the cradle we were socialized to be more proactive and confident in what we know, what we can do, and sometimes what we can't even do. All our agents of socialization taught us to be timid, and that is symptomatic. Symptomatic.
Okay.
What is that in there?
Yeah.
COVID by my TV.
It was a big word.
Symptomatic.
Yes.
But we're symptomatic. Yeah, of what we are as a people. Real winners are those that make things happen and not those that wait for things to happen to them. If quote rushing or you the rush is what will open that door for you, once it doesn't negatively affect anybody, be bold to show the world what you've got. So the question today is, what is the thin line between you the rush and being arrogant as a creative? Open house.
This is a very, 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 very deep one.
Yeah. What's the thing as a creative? What's the thin line between you the rush and being arrogant? Because it's a very thin line.
And for creatives, we carry this characteristic, both, in fact.
Yeah.
But the difficulty is when to
do it.
When to do it.
And when not.
And when not to do it, obviously. Yeah. And how do you communicate arrogance and you the rush as a part of how the creative process is respected and valued. Because there are many times when non-creatives are able to quickly pass judgment on a creative based on his requests for respect of value on the service he or she renders. But a lot of people then mistake that as. But even before I side with the creatives, because I have to speak for the creatives as a creative myself. Also, and this is a question that I want to put on the house in addition to Olile's question. How do you value your worth? How does a creative value his or her worth? For I am a designer, for I am a rapper, for I am a content creator. Now that's what we've got into. For I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
How do I create a rate card for myself so I'm not overpriced or underpriced? Because it is in that conversation that you the rush and you the rush and you
see your body
and you see your body and then you think and then sadly the red card that the non-creators will always use to flash before the creators would be your time could pass.
That's
so,
what today.
So I would yes, it is your time, so we so know you go do.
Also, when this conversation is coming from the gatekeepers, there's the you would be blacklisted. I don't know how they say that one in Pidgin, but
yes.
okay.
Good.
So there's that as well.
So how do we draw the fine line between now? You see, this conversation is very important because we are getting into a time, day, and age. I like the way you are prepared for the button down. A time, day, and age where creatives are becoming the order of the day in terms of what keeps you smile. They say smiles make you live longer. The people who is heavily responsible for making you smile are creators. Because now I'm talking creators even in terms of digital creators. Like when you go online, for example, like so you may be lying in bed from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and what are you doing? Scrolling through your phone and watching people's lives. Some of these lifestyles are actually curated by these professional creators to get you entertained. So you follow those pages. So for example, you might still downplay or tag funny face or the any way you want. But Echo, come here, Echo, go here. And it keeps you entertained.
Yeah.
You follow his page because you want to know what he's going to do that day. For what you don't know, he's actually planning to entertain you.
Yeah.
They have reached certain points where their craft now has become professional.
Yeah.
For what they thought through.
Yeah.
So today,
lifestyle, actually.
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So today they are thinking of what to do to make you happy.
Exciting.
Now, a long time ago, I found myself in making my beats again. But a long time ago, I took a real look at the interface, the music interface, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this hard. The music interface. When you open the software, Fruity Loops or Cubase or Pro Tools, you can actually block from minute 1 to minute 3. It'll be an empty page for you, but you need to now create music. So if somebody is able to sit down and engineer tunes that would trigger certain emotions in you, somebody, hear my words,
Go there.
freedom. If somebody is able to sit down and engineer tunes from the producer to the writer to the singer to the rapper to the composer, you name them, to the electrician even, who put the studio together, is able to create music for you that can trigger emotions for you to replay it and contribute to the 1 million streams. Where then is the person wrong to say, Charlie, if you want my services, you have to do X, 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 and X. But where then would you, the needer, when I say needer, you the needer guy or the girl, do you say, or how then do you say, Charlie, leave her with the rush? So let's say Kim Paluta says he wants a black limousine to pick him up. Is he right? or is he wrong? I leave the question to you, the gods. I'm using him as an example.
Yeah.
Makoma is the biggest song, so you want him to come. When does he be reasonable, or when does he deserve it?
Yeah.
You might or might not agree with me,
Hey,
but
I like this president. That means you are setting the
Yes.
table.
a person's numbers, right, can contribute to their brand, but what they are churning out as a creative is what is important. There are lots of people out there that might not necessarily have a lot of numbers, and I'm not talking just musicians, I'm talking content creators, influencers, literally any creative you can talk about. Now these people might not have amazing numbers, but it's because probably they haven't been able to brand them as a person, but they know the work they do has a lot of numbers. Now if you're trying to reach out to a person like this to get them to do work for you, and they tell you I want this, and you go and check their numbers and their numbers are low, and because their numbers are low you're not going to, and they tell you that this is a requirement for me to get this work done for you, and you decide no, I'm not going to do it. I feel like conversation should be open in order to negotiate, but some people just, because of how they have rated you, they want to pay you how they see you. They're not going to look at the work. Whatever they think is your worth is what they want to give you. The minute you ask for too much, it's like, this is how I see you, and so you're not going to get that. But people shouldn't base a person's worth on numbers alone. That's me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I actually agree with AC when it comes to the fact that you don't want to base a person's worth on their numbers, even though in the world we live in right now, numbers are a huge factor when it comes to valuation. Like when you pick an artist,
but numbers now, digital media, sorry to catch up, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, Jay.
But numbers shows,
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The numbers now become the metric
depends.
to your influence.
That's
But-
the thing, but Jay, there are people that are working, right? There's some people that are known on ground, right? And they have, I don't want to use an older example. I want to
Louder,
use
louder.
they have a
Since you can't hear it.
Okay.
There's some people that are known on ground.
Yes,
Yes,
there
thank
are people
you.
that are known on ground. Some people are able to transfer the on ground popularity to social media. Some people aren't able to. There's certain spaces that when you get in those, that this guy, when it comes to writing, how many popular writers do you know? There are not a lot of them. There's only a few of them. You have the likes of Olele. There's a few people that you know that they can transfer being writers, like, and be popular at the same time for other things they do. Some people just don't want to be popular writers. They want to be able to write for a certain niche. If you're looking for that, because they are not popular doesn't mean they can't get that job done for you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm talking about niche markets, but you are looking for someone that is niche, but you still want someone who is popular, and you want to pay them a certain amount because of, and this I'm talking about, I'm not even going to talk about musicians, I'm talking about my space, the actors, the crew, cast, mostly crew, light, sound. Some people are really good at their jobs. I would say that's even a part of why some people have bad movies, because you end up looking at this sound guy, this lights guy, you don't want to pay him enough. He'll come there and do whatever he feels like because you're not paying him his worth. You can see one movie that has epic lights, video, everything, and another movie that's bad, and you'll be surprised to find out that it's the same person on both movies. Why?
Money.
Okay.
It's not even I think that when it comes to,
and even the way you treat them, the way your cast will come, and because of worth and how you see a person, you decide to pay the cast. Since the cast is popular, you pay them this much, but the person who's going to make sure that the video looks good for the cast to come and make their money, you're not paying them well. You're not making sure they've eaten, like nothing. They literally just come to work, and you pay them after the movie has premiered.
So, okay. I was going to say that there's also a fine line where there is the lack of investment, and you work with me on this project
Oh
too.
no, that's why I said negotiations and
yeah.
conversations should be open, but you don't treat someone 100 and
But
treat
why
another person
accept? But why
on
accept the job in the first
0%?
place if the pay
The
wasn't what?
desperation also comes
Ghana, we
in.
do.
Then you need to offer. Then you the creative should offer the service and don't complain about
But I mean,
desperation.
my question is, at what point do you show that tinge of arrogance?
At what point in time do we?
Do you show that arrogance, which is or do you show that confidence,
Or is that
which
confidence
is
perceived
often
as arrogance?
perceived as arrogance? Because if you are what do you call it?
When you
burden
understand the value of what you do, and you see,
but the challenge has been most budding creatives have not caught on with that, narrative or that objective as being, understanding the value of what they do, so they have, because the post that Kwame put out is just saying that they are afraid to say, because if they say the way they want to say it, they will skip them and go for another person.
Yeah.
It's
So, Jay, the question
and
right now
social
I have
engineering
is
basically.
how do you find that value, right? First of all, and like you were asking, if I identify my value, how do I let Cyril, you, and Olele see that this is my value?
Presentation, no?
So I'll share a personal experience, and I'm sure it resonates with this fine gentleman here, because we play in the same spaces, and I'm coming to the voiceover conversation again.
That makes sense.
There's an incubation period where you, the creative, feel you have arrived, but you don't know that you are incubating. Because you feel your work is at that standard and you require but
I know where it's coming from.
But you have to also understand that just as example politics, no matter how smart you are at 25, you can't be president. You have to go through a certain process. And the process will build you to learn certain things off and online. Offline is understanding the buga of the business, where you need to know that we all came to the stadium to watch a great game in the stadium, but somebody has paid at the back there for the game to be engineered and be played there. You are staying here and seeing it as entertainment.
So I should postpone the arrogance.
So yeah, postpone the arrogance. So like man had to go through this incubation period for a very, very long time, be stepped on, be cheated, and not to say that it's the right thing to do, but you see, there's the dirty side of the business, and then there's the cool side. It would be nice to walk into the office and see get your work done, boom, 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 and be paid $5,000 and boom, or 7,000 euros and boom, and you exchange some foreign exchange and all. But you should also understand that there's somebody who understands the business so well, and has now reached the top of the food chain, and is now enjoying the fruit of his labor, and is now dictating to you how much you deserve to get as well. It's the dirty side of it, because. So back to the story. So look, I chanced upon an email where I saw what they were charging on my behalf. You see, a client sending a rate card to an agency sending a rate card to the client, and copies me accidentally. I mean, I just when I saw them, I was like, "Hey, and I saw, and I'll give you the figures. So at that time, I don't know, maybe you might probably side with me on that. At that time, it was, whilst I charged 250 Ghana cedis for the entire production of the ad, it meant studio and voice. I'm using a new currency. The clients, the agency, had charged 15,000 cedis
Jesus.
on my behalf. And the sadder part was that I was going to be paid 3 months. That 250 was going to come 3 months later.
See what I'm choosing.
But you see,
So how are you managing your arrogance?
good. So it got to a point where it had built up
To the neck.
Because that's a
Okay.
difference of
Osteo.
14,000.
Osteo had built up to the neck that I just had to point and vent. I won't mention the man's name but you know the man very, very well. I had to vent. Oh, he knows him very, very well. I had to vent and say it as it is. But before that ventilation, that ventilation could happen, you must also do some self-checks and your readiness to take on that value that the agency is charging. Because, for me, I may be sitting in the studio with equipment and all, and I'll sit behind the machine and edit and all of that. But did I have the corporate branding, the things that you can't put cost to? I can't put cost to the agency's existence and investment and their dealings and their, you can't put cost to it, because they are charging those figures. Also because it must make business sense to run the business. The entire 50 staff working for them, from the janitor right to the security man, all the way to the MD, the creators, the agency, the head of this, head of that, and all those things. It must make sense to them. So if 3 Music were selling groundnuts, we would sell groundnuts probably at 20 cedis per bag, or in the the small one, the pack.
Yeah, the pack.
But the watch seller on the side might sell it for 2 cedis, and it's not because we are cheating the person. It's because when you look at the things that run the business, like a hotel.
To factor
If I
everything
go
in.
and buy a bottle of soda from the hotel, it's different from the streets. So I had to learn these things to justify, to make my arrogance now make sense to myself, and because the question that can come as, okay, so you are asking this amount of money, you want this amount of money, okay, fine, no problem. Can you do this and this and this and this and this and this and this?
Yeah,
Are you? Your worth,
your value, yeah.
your value, are you ready to roll it out like that?
So-
And most creators are not in school to learn the craft of business.
Yeah.
We
I
are
was gonna
doing
ask
this
that.
on everyday experiences,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which takes time.
So some have undercharged their lives
Yes.
from time immemorial.
So
Before they
have
realize they
I
could
have an
check.
experience.
Okay.
Yeah. I
A
have a
very
question,
sad
yeah,
experience.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So I got the opportunity to get on one of the biggest platforms with with some of the top artists and all of that, and then the agency that was responsible for reaching out, booking and all of that reached out to me, but it was like the way the guy reached out to me made it seem like it was just how Ghanaians really do on
Agencies,
that
the agencies, they are smart like that.
they go lick your brain small. So I think I should have consulted, with other people who have been in the space for a while. But I thought about it. I was like, this is a huge opportunity. One, I don't want to miss the opportunity. Two, I don't also want to undervalue myself. But I was thinking about it, and I gave a figure. It's like, oh yeah, they were quick to just, oh yeah, cool, we'll go with it.
red flag.
For me to go and find out that I had cheated myself completely and
Exactly.
entirely.
So, I
so-
have a question. When Trip is done, are you done?
Yeah.
No,
I
you
wasn't
finish.
done, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So moving forward, I have a similar opportunity, and had to
To show up your arrogance more.
yeah, a little bit, and come to find out that people if they reach out to you, it means they understand your worth.
Yeah.
And then they are willing to listen to your terms and all of that. So I think that it depends on one, the creative himself, understanding the space that you are in, understanding the value or the worth that what you bring to the table. Because one, if an agency or if someone is reaching out to you for you to offer them a service, it means that they've seen what you can do, they know what you're capable of, and they want to know what it will cost or what it will take for you to offer them those services. So I think that it's just
Do creators
thing about-
understand the business language? Cyril.
I was gonna ask a question.
The question you're going to ask.
From what you said,
Ask the question loud.
so what I'm getting now is, as a creative, having the talent or the know-how of the actual job is invaluable enough. You need to know the business side. And recently I was talking to Cyril. It's really tiring when you're working with corporate and contracts. Jesus Christ. It's a lot. But I think it's a tiring part that we would have to learn. So it doesn't mean that if a creative is able to level up in not knowing just what they bring to the table as a creative, but what they bring to the table as a business person, as a negotiator and all of that, they can now up the value. Is that what we're saying?
Do you want to take that up?
Just before you come in, right? You know this question, right? It will shock you that creatives
And at that point, can I rush? Continue.
creatives who are or may not be as excellent and talented as you have more of what you seek, and so they're able to walk into these rooms, grab these contracts and go with them, yet you the one with the expertise and with the excellence and whatnot, because you do not know much of the business, which I believe Cyril will talk about, and also the fact that you may not have branded yourself well enough. When you sit in these meetings, you quiver, you shake, so they can tell that you yourself Nankasano.
You're not certain.
Red
When they
flag.
throw anything at you, you go
take
take them
it.
because a commodore. Anyways, Cyril.
Yeah. So
They wore you too.
no.
Hey, they never wore you before?
Unfortunately,
You never been fingered?
because he sat at the
No, I have.
agency warning people.
Yes.
I
Because
He
you
sat
have
at
played the
agency.
three,
People
you
like
played the
him.
three parts.
So
You have been a
It's people
customer.
like him.
You've been
I've been a
the
customer, I've
you've
been
been the middleman,
the middleman,
and now you are the agency.
Yes.
Yeah, you ever been one before?
There's a book I want to recommend to every single creative. It's by John C. Maxwell. It's called Talent is Never Enough.
Yeah.
It outlines 13 points that help you amplify and maximize your talent. And I would like to let all of us know that talent is like gold deep in the earth somewhere until it is maximized to its potential and then amplified and made available, well branded. The value is purely subjective. And that's where you have a conflict. And when it comes to confidence versus arrogance, confidence is a natural result when the right brand is associated with that talent and the right things are done to project that brand in its rightful light. Confidence will come naturally. Arrogance is a compensation where you realize that you have failed to build the right brand equity. But somebody in your field or in your industry who carries that brand equity is getting a certain value that you are not getting. So now it becomes a knee jerk. Why did they pay Trip? No, pay me that same amount. You pay Trip 10 cedis. Why did they tell me say you go pay me 2?
Also, I won't do.
Meanwhile, the work you've done or the
Imagine.
work Trip has done to build his brand equity and brand value is not something you've done. You have just stood on the mantle of I have the same talent, so I must earn the same. Now, if production can put up what the brand equity is at any point, we can look at that before I continue. What? So I mean, Foley, this is what. So I mean, Foley can read it.
In the realm of personal branding, brand equity refers to the perceived value an individual holds in the eyes of others based on their personal brand. It goes on to say, now, this value can be derived from various factors, including the individual's skill, experiences, reputation, and visibility in their in their field. As a key driver of economic growth, the creative economy contributes about 6% of the global GDP. And it's expanding at twice the rate of traditional economy. Now, it is projected to reach a value of 6.5 trillion. That is about plenty millions of cities by 2020, which is surpassed by now.
So now here we are.
I mean, for context, the reason why I said I've not experienced it. Well, I have, but not I've comparatively maybe been under budgeted for or undercut, but never taken advantage of.
Okay.
I think maybe for the last 18 years, my email has been mail@cyrilgokel.com. It's part of my personal branding. When you go for a corporate meeting and they ask you for your email, and your email is happybunny84_x@gmail.
Yahoo Safe. And then we
you see, these are things that we ignore, but it gives a perception about you. You need to read the society you are in and see what people value and what differentiates you from the
So let me ask you a
rest.
question: Is the cool kid area now taking over the perceived business community conversation? Because, for example,
packaging.
Maybe a giant telco may in the past want to engage Blue Spark agency, but Yabedu Love Yabedu Love 26 at yahoo.com is able to execute the work.
Raspatiti.
So are the cool kids now changing the narrative? Because I'm asking because now you need influencers who have just disrupted the lifestyle to create influence and are heavily competing with major brands like us.
Let me give you an example.
And they're taking budgets.
The reason why that is a short-lived fad is because, well, that's a tautology. The reason why that's a fad is, you will engage, baby, But Yah Baby doesn't have the expertise, the structure, or the understanding to give you value for money. So if you've spoken to anybody who runs brands, there's been a curse going directly to most influencers. Because follow-up is poor, delivery is a nightmare.
How do you track their ROI?
But the influence is huge.
That's if they do the job. Now, I can't disclose specifics, but I know at least 5 agencies, big agencies that have signed multiple. I'm talking about maybe 50, 60 influencers who have had hell.
But the digital space is now creating its own narrative.
Yes, they are giving that narrative and making it look like they are ready for business. Everybody has check bio for this, check bio for it, right? But here's the case: you go and give your business of selling so and so to Yah Baby, and Yah Baby does not
Love.
Yah Baby Love, and Yah Baby Love is clueless. All she knows is that I have to post for you because you want likes.
Okay.
She doesn't understand the business. She doesn't understand your business, anything, and she's led by the arrogance, the empty value in her own perception.
Well, how about the marketing agency creating their trends and whatever it is around the brand persona of this?
Yeah,
Yes.
but even my
So
question is
that's-
why would Blue Spark go to Yah Baby? Why?
So Blue
for example,
Spark-
Blue Spark is into
they
So
Yah Baby
Blue
was
Spark.
necessary.
So yes. So Yah Baby is necessary. But the
Baby
same
Love,
way,
that's spelling there, yeah.
Yah Baby
Yah
Love.
Baby Love,
But
sorry.
the same way, when you want to buy a necklace for the love of your life, you don't go to the mining field and ask the miner coming out of the ground for gold dust and go and give it to the love
What's
of your
the
life.
point?
You go to the jewelry store,
package it.
right, where you get a product that has been refined and meets the standard that you expect. That is why you'd go to an agency like maybe Echo House, Influencer Africa, and get them to contract Yah Baby Africa for you. That's the reason why you'd come to 3 Media Networks for 3 Media Creatives to give you an influencer and manage it for you. That's the reason why you'd go to Innova DDB or a Touchpoint Magna Carta and get them to get an influencer to manage it for you. Not because you cannot go to a sofa or trip, but because you understand that by going to Olele influencer agency for a sofa, now you are filtering this raw gold dust through a system that gives you what you want without the stress of failure, the unnecessary back and forth, the drama, the horrible pricing, then the high risk that whatever you intend to use Yah Baby Love for will fail. I have instances, I mean, it's unfortunate I can't disclose specifics, but many instances where brands have thought that, oh, any friend, and my goodness God, they will pay because there's 2 million followers on Instagram and blah blah blah. Now respond to the emails. Oh, but I sent it on WhatsApp. Is it not
Raspa
cool?
TT is chatting, please.
You understand? These are things that make it horrible for creatives at large, because what is doing to the equity of
let me just be on the side of, let me just play devil's advocate here. Is it that the corporate space has been run by a certain language for many years?
So they're now
many
adjusting to
years. Now there's a disruption in how we communicate, where you can decide to send it to me via email and use Spark as my mailer platform. That's that's entirely up to you. But I'm quicker to if you want me, I'm quicker to respond on WhatsApp, or if I let me make
Snapchat.
let me make it worse
You
on
see-
Snapchat. So for example, no, and I'm just saying this. I realize that I'm coming from a traditional space. Oluman.
the corporate
Is it
space.
that I give you? This is
No.
the Oluman who dance.
The
So I'm
corporate
coming.
space hasn't done anything.
No, I'm saying that I came from a traditional space. I'm coming from the email, space. Now, I won't change my email, but it'd be cool. I'm coming from that space.
Yahoo.
So, but I'm realizing that if I want to engage a Silfa quicker,
Yeah.
much quicker response. For me, it's not about where she receives it. For me, it's about the fact that she's got it and she's going to act upon what I've asked her to do.
Can I have my
2
next?
million followers.
And her
I should
quickest
be- I
engagement
should
is
be a
on
little doctor.
Snapchat.
Can I have my second slide to
So
answer
is the put the slide up, but is the corporate space now being faced with a new conversation, a new way of how these people want to engage you? Are they changing the narrative, which is more comfortable for them? And is that becoming a problem? Because because on Snapchat there's no history of chat.
Yeah,
So is that a
yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
If there's a
But I
problem,
think that
then
you can say
we can screenshot it and keep it there. It's the same. It's the same
Agreement is
conversation, isn't it?
agreement.
Agreement.
It's not the corporate. It's not the corporate language.
Okay.
is the language of money. It's the language of revenue.
Is it?
And
Business
by
etiquette.
virtue of the word and the definition of work, it cannot simultaneously be in your comfort zone. Work suggests that you have to go out and do something, some way, somehow. Whether you are charging in the darkest corner of Ghana or you are a mainline influencer in New York, you contribute to the creative economy. And that means somebody is signing a check somewhere.
Money must be accounted for.
Money must be accounted for. And in the language of money, you're damn right you are not going to send me your invoice on Snapchat. Because when it's time for me to audit the global market
File the
and
tax returns.
my company is dealing with a
Wait,
revenue.
wait. Let me correct you, please. I can send you my invoice on Snapchat.
You see,
I can send you.
Let me. You can. There's nothing wrong with what you can do.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. I'm
I'm
not saying that there's a problem with what you can do or what you want to do.
As to,
I am telling you that it is the reason why, right?
But I can send a Word document on Snapchat.
It is the reason why you can be the best artist on the planet, and you still need a booking agent. You still need a tour manager. You can be the best influencer. You still need a talent management agency. Because if Coca-Cola or Mercedes or 3 Music or whoever wants to speak to...
They won't talk to you via Snapchat.
They will not talk to you by any other platform. They would go through that because you...
But they
as
are
the-
using
you
Snapchat
see,
to advertise. Interesting.
no problem. So that's where
Very, very
ignorance...
interesting.
That's where ignorance
You
is
want
the
to
problem.
use me on my
No,
platform.
see,
on the platform you
that's
feel
where-
you
that's
deem
where-
it the platform that I can influence you.
That's where...
But when
that's
I'm
where-
sending my invoice on the platform,
No.
you are telling me that there's a global conversation
That's where-
somewhere.
that's where ignorance-
This is where
No. You see?
the issue happens.
Yeah.
That, no,
confidence and
there's no
everything.
issue. This is where ignorance on behalf of us, the creatives, is also our Achilles heel. If us creatives would invest as much in educating ourselves and elevating our knowledge of the business landscape as we do in our core creatives, we would be unstoppable. When Mbappe is being signed, he signed in a boardroom somewhere, in a suit and tie, with lawyers and business managers. When he's done, he's put in sportswear by sports brand and put on the field to entertain you. That business conversation is 2 worlds, where there's a finance manager who knows the revenue of the
Yeah,
club.
but it is something
Who-
that is that are the
So
new
you-
cool kids
the
disrupting
new
this.
cool kids
Because
are causing
I
the
think,
disruption.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate
Yeah.
here, okay? I'm
They
not saying I'm
they
ignorant.
are causing
but
they are causing the disruption.
Yes.
because they are pushing that ignorance, and the brands and the businesses that are engaging with them are
they
engaging
pushing-
from a point
Are
of
they pushing ignorance,
The-
or everybody is pushing
No.
where I'm comfortable to
no,
work in?
Yeah, I think
no,
It's a fine line because
No, no, no.
Mbappe,
Let me tell you why.
Let me
tell you why.
Mbappe signing
Let
could
me
have
tell you why I'm
equally
using the
happened
word
with him.
No,
It could have equally happened with him in his sports sportswear.
No.
With all the team behind him, he can care less.
Let me explain why
Yeah.
I'm choosing the word ignorance
Yeah.
over comfort.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll tell you
It-
something. We are going.
it's
but let's
ignorance
finish up.
because you are undercutting the value you present to your potential business partners. Okay, a brand calls you and you are speaking pidgin, relaxed, talking to somebody else. Yeah, we go free run. I don't know. This is your people, they get money. It's a different kind of money you will get from the guy who says, "Oh, thank
Yeah.
you for calling. We'll send you our rate card, and my business manager will be in touch." Trust me. The guy who is in his comfort zone because he buy one Corolla and is the coolest guy on Snapchat.
But what if the,
The
company,
money-
what if the
And
company wants
when-
it?
As a
when
creative,
Betway was-
That's
when-
what- that's
I'm
the point I
afraid
was
that
going to.
sometimes
That's the
it's,
com-
it's
that's-
the other
that's-
way around.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
sound
conversation.
humble.
That's the
when
conversation.
you sound straight,
No.
and when you, it's like you have confidence.
You see,
It's tricky
that's
right
the
now.
mistake.
It's tricky.
That's the mistake we are making, right? That the companies are forced into a position
Yes.
of desperation,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So you end up
Okay.
that there's one influencer, they've sold airtime, they've sold electronics, they've sold sanitary pad, they are now selling real estate. So they represent nothing.
Cyril, this convo is
They
too
are like a
sweet.
big bell.
We'll
Every
have to-
time a
we'll have
brand
to
needs
bring it to a
attention,
close.
somebody reaches out and gang. So
Cyril,
yes, you make a lot of noise,
when-
but your impact is
I want
share
to-
it.
I want
Your
to-
impact-
I want you
We'll
to.
get into
I want,
part
Yeah,
two.
we'll have to.
No
end it.
problem.
I just
Part
want to-
two.
I want to use
Because
this to
there's
end.
more
to
questions.
end
Let's
him.
end. There's more questions.
When Betway was engaging me to use the app The app was nicely looking sweet. Even when they were paying me, they paid me via the app, right? By the same, we didn't have any coming back and forth. Time and place. If you like, try it. Go to FlyX. If you go to FlyX, win boost with Betway. You bet, you blast, you boost. Yes, you boost. If you feel that they like, check them. So it is such a fun game, a corporate fun game. Listen, if you like, that alter the mode of conversation with these cool kids now, and see if you get your results. You won't get it all. They want things to be understood in their language.
That's why every year. That's why every year. Let's look at it. Let's chronicle Ghana as we know it.
Yeah.
That's why year on year we have a hot shot and they drop off, and we have a hot shot and they drop off, because it is not sustainable to sit in your comfort zone and think that the whole entire corporate ecosystem to bend to your 100,000 followers, because they will try you out of desperation, they will use you out of necessity, but you no longer become a sustainable partner to the business environment.
And that's
if
why
you look at Chris Atto, back in the days, Chris Atto was emceeing everything because of approach. Okay, Anita Eskin is one of the most top level public speakers, MCs, moderators, etc. because of her approach. You understand? There's another eloquent young lady somewhere on social media, right? But her approach is, hey, try and do something about your price. Sister, 2 years later, let me hear from you.
Okay, that's why there are top level businesses that have also crashed because of their approach. I don't want to list brand names here, but you blast, you bet, you blast, you boost. It's a fun game to play. It's even more fun to win because you can get winnings of up to 300%. That means you can triple your winnings. So don't miss out. Play FlyX. Even the name self. They use this thing, right? They use catcher names. Why didn't they use Play International Super? Play FlyX with win boost exclusively at betway.com. Betway.com.
It's exclusive.
It is terms and conditions apply. Betway gets way more. Our time is up. We have to go. We'll be back tomorrow. This convo no the end.